Most people fail muscle ups for one reason. They don't know how to pull. They try every tutorial, every drill, but nothing transfers. They swing, they grind, and they get stuck at the bar. Most of the time, this might not be a strength issue. Well, for some of you, it might be, but for most of you, it is probably a lack of consistency and, most importantly, a lack of speed. You might ask, speed? Yes, we need to differentiate whether you are a fast puller or a slow puller. And as soon as you know the difference and you implement it into your training, muscle ups become so much easier. The muscle up isn't a pull up and a dip combined. It's a full body skill. Pull, transition, press, all in one motion, and that's why it's so hard. You can be strong enough, but if you don't know how to generate force in a sequence manner, you'll always lose power where it matters most, at the top. All right, let's name things. Fast pullers, they explode out of the bottom. So they have speed, but lack control at the bar. Slow pullers, they have control, but they can't accelerate fast enough to clear the bar on top. So two different types of pullers, two problems, and two solutions. Because you don't train them the same way. Here is how you can find out what type of puller you are. We're going to use a simple test, which is a chest to bar pull-up. And we want to aim for a strict repetition from a dead hang position. If you can touch the bar easily without losing height in your sternum, you're probably a fast puller. If you're having a hard time touching the bar with your chest and the last couple of centimeters of the range of motion you really need to grind, or you're losing height in the sternum, then you're very likely a slow puller. And the second test that we're going to use is a banded modified muscle up. A modified muscle up is a high pull up with crunch over the bar. So no transition, no press on top. And for this particular exercise, we are going to take a look at the movement speed across the whole pattern. So if you can maintain the same speed from the initial pull towards the top position with a very light band, you're probably a fast puller. If it requires you a medium or a heavy band to keep speed consistent throughout, you're very likely a slow puller. Simple. Fast or slow, speed or control. Now let's talk about how to train each type. Fast pullers. Your issue isn't speed, control is. So you need to learn how to stabilize through the transition. In your case, I would use exercises like a banded muscle up at a very low intensity, and the intention should be on fast and controlled transitions with no grinders. Okay, keep that in mind. Efficient reps, low intensity, super important for our fast pullers. Additionally, I would use modified muscle ups, so a modified muscle up pattern where we're going to focus on timing, control, and pulling height. And this modified muscle up is kind of a high pull with a crunch over the bar, but there is no transition and no dip. And with this particular exercise, we can really work on this continuous pull pattern and really work on the strength and the stabilization on top of the bar. And in your case, it's super important that we're only working with clean reps, and as soon as you start grinding, please stop right away. Slow pullers. Your issue isn't control, acceleration is. You need to learn how to produce force quickly. So we're going to use exercises like an explosive chest to bar pull-up, right? We're going to start from a dead hang position, and we're going to try to pull as explosively as possible with a proud chest to the bar without losing height in the skeleton. And we're going to use exercises like a banded modified muscle up that really helps us to work on the technique. And the important thing here is don't use heavy bands, more so lighter bands, so you really learn how to accelerate out of the bottom position. And the goal here is to work with very, very little reps, so ideally singles, so we keep them very light, so we don't want to grind here, only crisp and explosive reps with very few sets and full rest in between the sets, so you are as fresh as possible whenever you're attempting your explosive reps, which is super crucial for our slow pullers. And remember, if speed drops, stop right away. We don't want to grind here, and force production is our primary thing that we're looking at. Now, let's take a look at common mistakes. Probably the biggest issue I see whenever I onboard a new client is that they're doing way too much volume, right? Volume doesn't make you better, it will make you slower. Another thing that I see is that people are using too much assistance, right? Bands aren't a problem. Heavy bands are the problem because they fake the start. And the last one, too much fatigue. Grinding teaches compensation, not skill. Muscle ups are about precision, not exhaustion. You don't learn control when you're tired. The muscle up is a skill, a coordination of pull, transition, and press. And if you wanna learn your first clean muscle up, then please stop grinding, respect speed, and train with intent. Speed is feedback, control is skill, and this is how you earn your first clean muscle up. There is a full system built around this idea. Fast versus slow, control versus strength, but it's coming soon. For now, just use what you learned today, find out what kind of puller you are, and apply it in your next pull session. And I guarantee you, your muscle ups will start making some real progress. That's it for today's video. If you haven't done yet, please help me out by subscribing to this channel, like and comment down below so you don't miss out on any new videos and you support me creating more videos. And if you need some help with your own training, you want to learn a muscle up or you just want some guidance, get rid of pain, prep for competitions, then reach out for my online coaching. The link is in the description down below. If you want to know how I work, then subscribe to my newsletter. And that's it for today. See you.